Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with Week 7. And last week went better than what I thought. I went 9-6, nice, and which brings my total up to 57-36 on the season. But if it's me or I feel like this season has been pretty bad, I feel like every team in the league has some sort of offensive line issue or even offensive issues in general, ref ball getting in the way, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I just feel like this season has pretty much underperformed so far. That's just my thoughts. But before we get into our predictions, a reminder that the Cincinnati Bengals, Tennessee Titans, Dallas Cowboys, Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans, and New York Jets all have bye weeks this week. And we're going to start off with Thursday Night Football with the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints, yeah, they lost to the Texans. Their offense was bad. The play calling was terrible for them. And yeah, they lost. As for Jacksonville, they got an easy win over Indianapolis. But there are some injury concerns with their quarterback Trevor Lawrence. And I think that will play in a role on who I'm going to choose to win this game. Because before the Trevor Lawrence injury, I probably would have took Jacksonville to win on the road. But now that he is injured, I don't know his full status. But what I do know is that he is day to day. And for now, I am going to go ahead and take the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. I feel like they're beginning to figure things out after a slow start to the season. But if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I'm probably going to wind up flipping my pick to the Saints. Next, we have two opponents whose coaches will soon be fired. In the Las Vegas Raiders, traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Raiders got a win last week over New England. And, yep, they pretty much was benefit from playing New England. And as for the Chicago Bears, they lost to the Minnesota Vikings, a game in which Justin Fields ended up dislocating his thumb. He will not be playing in this game. So this means that Tyler Badgett is going to be playing quarterback. Oh yeah, I am so taking the Raiders to win this game. But this will probably be the game where Josh McDaniels will find a way to lose. Next we have is the Buffalo Bills traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. New England scored their first touchdown in what feels like a month, but yet they still lost to the Las Vegas Raiders. As for the Bills, how that New York Giant game was closer than what you think, I literally don't know. But luckily, they used ref ball, and the Giants being more bad than them to win the game. Yeah, I don't see any other scenario where the Bills should win this game, but knowing their luck, they'll wind up playing down the competition. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Indianapolis, this is their Indiana Knights game. They're going to unveil a new uniform for this game, if anyone cares. But for the Colts, they did the annual thing and that is losing in Jacksonville to the Jaguars, completing this, and they got swept this year already. As for the Cleveland Browns, they got a surprise win over the 49ers. I honestly didn't see this coming, but then I realized PJ Walker went up against a Steve Wilks defense, something that he saw last year when he was back in Carolina. And they surprised everyone by winning. It was also thanks to the 49ers missing a crucial go-ahead field goal that cost them the game as well. That let us know the Browns defense, they are legit. I think this one could go in any direction. And I do believe Deshaun Watson might return this week. And if he does, I am leaning towards the Browns to win this game. But if he doesn't play, I might flip my pick. Just keep an eye on that. Next we have is the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Giants. The Commanders gave Desmond Ridder his first home loss since high school as they beat the Atlanta Falcons. And the New York Giants, I mean, they almost came close to beating the Buffalo Bills. They were one no call pass interference away from doing that. But and also they were one bad goal to goal situation late in halftime for doing that as well. But for the Giants, yeah, they're a pretty bad team. I don't know what the status of Daniel Jones in this game. He might return, but regardless, I'm going to roll with the Commanders to win this game. I do because I have faith in their offense way more than I have faith in the Giants in general. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. And both teams are coming off of tough losses. For the Bucks, they lost to the Detroit Lions, where I felt like there were more Lion fans in the stands than actual Buccaneer fans. And the Bucks failed to find the end zone. As for the Falcons, Desmond Ridder did not look good in his game at all. He lost as they lost to the Washington Commanders. I think one of these teams will have to bounce back. And given that Desmond Ridder is not a good QB on the road, I am going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win. And the fact that I trust their defense a little more, I think Baker Mayfield will bounce back and have a better performance. And don't forget Mike Evans. He's on the team too. And this game right here might be the game of the week. The Detroit Lions traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Detroit picked up a big road win against Tampa Bay last week, thanks to Jared Goff and Jameson Williams. As for the Ravens, they finally used their main weapon, Justin Tucker. After Tucker was shunned in week 5, he basically made all his kicks in week 6 and showed the world that he is the greatest of all time. Now, if you remember the last time these two teams played, Justin Tucker made history against the Detroit Lions. Longest field goal in NFL history. Now, that was then. We're now in the now. And Detroit, I think they're a team on a mission. I am going to pick them on the road to beat the Baltimore Ravens because I have not been totally impressed with the Ravens this year. Even when they played the Titans this past Sunday, I felt like they were holding each other back. I feel like something's holding the Ravens back. I just have not put the pin on that. But I will make one bonus prediction. Tucker will hit a 61-yard field goal in this game. That's the prediction. Next we have is the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a bye week taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams picked up a nice divisional win over the Cardinals. Nothing spectacular about it. They just came, saw, and conquered. And the Steelers, last time we saw them, they were caught stealing a victory from the Baltimore Ravens, where it was more of a Ravens choke than a Steelers victory. This game, now one thing for sure, I do expect a lot of Steeler fans to be in the building because, Steelers, they travel well, and California, they really don't have a true fan base, particularly LA doesn't. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. I do not expect a lot of scoring in this one. But as for a winner, I was going to pick the Rams to win, but because the Steelers had that bye week to figure things out, I am going to go ahead and take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win on the road against the Los Angeles Rams, and TJ Watt will have 2 sacks. Follow that, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks. the Cardinals coming off a loss to the Rams, and the Seahawks coming off a very disappointing showing against the Bengals where their red zone offense just imploded. It was pretty bad for Seattle. But I do think because this game's in Seattle and the Cardinals, they're pretty much, even though they won a game, they're still on that tank ride. I am going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win this game at home. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos. With the I believe the Packers had a bye week last week. And the Broncos, they had a mini bye last week as they're coming off a Thursday night loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, in which they only scored 8 points. And there's more locker room drama involving Jerry Jeudy, in which he has put up his worst showing as a wide receiver. But Jerry Jeudy, that's another topic for another day. Broncos, bad team. This game right here, oh boy. Both of these teams should be better than what they showed me. And for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and take Green Bay because they might be getting some healthy pieces around them coming back. They had a bye week to figure things out, and the Broncos, yeah, y'all pretty much dead. Follow that up with the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chargers, they lost on Monday night to the Dallas Cowboys. Justin Herbert himself, he was pretty disappointing, missing a lot of throws that he normally won't miss, and he took a crucial sack and threw a crucial interception that cost them the game. As for the Chiefs, it was a divisional win, low-scoring win over the Denver Broncos. What else is new? This is a game I could possibly see the Chiefs slipping up. Because if you know anything, the Chargers, they always play this team tough. Regardless of how good or bad they've been. So that's something I could keep an eye on. But, yeah, because the Chiefs are at home, I think the bad blood will persist. And I'm going to take them at home to beat the Los Angeles Chargers and let them know that they're not the man. And that just takes us to another game of the week, in my opinion. The Miami Dolphins traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, in which the Eagles will be wearing their Kelly green uniforms. But for the Eagles, they pretty much want to forget that last week happened, as they took their first loss of the season to the New York Jets. Matter of fact, it's their first loss in franchise history to the New York Jets, as the Dolphins took care of business over the Panthers. What else is new? Yeah, but the Eagles, they did get a signing this week. They signed Julio Jones, but I don't know what his role is on the team. But you would think they'll try to help out their defense, let alone secondary, which has not been good for the Eagles this year. Well, the front seven has, but the back four, they have not. They might be getting Darius Slay back for this game. But right now, at Miami, they're on a mission. I'm going to take the Dolphins on the road to win. I think their speed receivers, there's going to be too much to handle for the Eagles. I know this is Kelly Green night for them, but the Dolphins, they're fast. Very fast. And finally, we have Monday Night Football, in which the San Francisco 49ers will travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. And the 49ers, coming off a tough loss over Cleveland, their first on the season, and they end up leaving more battered than you think. Christian McCaffrey left with an oblique injury. Deebo Samuel, he had an injury, and Trent Williams, their all-pro left tackle, he had an ankle injury. Meanwhile, the Vikings, they got a win over the Bears, and there was not much to be said about that. And if we know anything, if narratives play right, The only team Kirk Cousins know how to beat on Monday night is the Chicago Bears. He's not playing the Chicago Bears on Monday night yet this year, but that'll come later on. So I think the 49ers will bounce back. I think their defense will have a very strong game after what happened to them last week. And the 49ers, they'll be motivated. They're going to be very motivated after losing their first game. So tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.